Alrighty, guys. Does appear we are able to stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at some of the storms we have going on around the area right now. They've really weakened up a little bit since they started to move through our area. You can still see the wind gust, actually, if you take a look at this little area down here. This is actually what we call a gust front out ahead of this storm. Definitely the strong winds tonight, the biggest issue we've been having. There was some warnings earlier this evening, but they've since fallen apart as this line of storms have weakened. Let's go ahead and turn on our hail track here. We'll see if there's any hail associated with these storms. Um, right now, just very, very minimal hail. Hail definitely not the big concern this evening. The wind speeds, that's where we're actually looking for the highest, if you were to say, the highest concern for this evening. Let's go ahead and pull up a wind map here for you guys. Show you what we can see here as far as winds go. You see where that line of storms moving through Muncie right now, 31-mile-per-hour winds. So definitely something to keep an eye on if you're out there. They're not severe winds right now, but they're definitely strong winds out there this evening. Here's that line of storms once again. They're moving toward the southeast at about 30 miles per hour, so we can go ahead and put a storm track on that for you and just show you where we think those storms will be and when we'll think they'll actually get there. Southeast at 30, Carmel 10:24. You guys will be seeing those storms in just under 10 minutes. Clay shortly after at 10:25. Winchester 10:36 for the storms. 10:48 for you guys down in Indianapolis, and Warren at 10:53. Again, nothing severe right now, but we'll keep tracking these storms and we'll break back in here on our live web stream as necessary. For those of you just joining us, we've been tracking the line of storms as they move across the state of Indiana. They've really started to weaken as they've entered the Newslink, Indiana viewing area. Still some gusty winds, really going to be the big concern as we take a look at that wind map. Actually, still at 21 mile per hour here in the city, and it's associated with a strong cold front dropping down from the northwest. It's going to bring our highs tomorrow only into the mid to low 70s. The Cooper Science Building here at Ball State, we did record a peak wind gust of 50 miles per hour. That information coming from the Ball State Geography Twitter as these storms continue to drop off to the southeast at around 30 miles per hour. We're expecting those to be near Middletown by 10:28. You guys have just about 4 minutes before these storms start impacting you. Pendleton, 10:34. Winchester, 10:42. Newcastle at 10:54. And Spiceland at 11:07. We'll keep tracking those here, break in as necessary over our radar picture, and have updates for you on Twitter at NLI Weather. Hello once again to those of you just joining us here. This is Newslink Indiana weather web live stream right now. We're keeping on the radar here as we're watching this line of storms move across the state. They've really started to weaken as they've moved across central Indiana. Some warnings earlier tonight, but no warnings across our viewing area right now. This line of storms still presenting some gusty winds. The Cooper Science Building here picked up a peak wind gust of about 50 miles per hour. So this line of storms still some gusty winds. There hasn't been really any hail, at least not since the storms moved out of the other part of Indiana. Let's turn on our hail track here. We'll show you what we're seeing here. Really no hail near us. Down on the north side of Indianapolis, they're seeing a little bit of hail down near Clay. We'll take a measurement of that here. We're looking at about an inch size of hail on the north side of Indianapolis, but over in our part of Indiana, our part of the viewing area, not a whole lot going on in the way of hail. Let's take a wider look here at the radar. You see this associated with a large line of storms really extending from up near Canada all the way back towards St. Louis. They're having a severe thunderstorm watch right now, but we don't have to deal with that sort of severe weather, at least not right now. This line of storm is definitely weaker than it was earlier this evening. It's continuing to weaken as it moves across the state. The big issue right now is the wind. So if you're out there ahead of the storm, you're probably going to experience a little bit of the gust of wind before that actually gets to you. You can see right here on our radar something we'd actually call a gust front out in front of this storm. It was much more pronounced earlier this evening when that line of storms was back out toward the west. You could see that gust front a lot clearer. There it goes out in front of the storm, dropping to the southeast at about 32 miles per hour right now. I'll point that gust front out to you. Actually, you see it starting to form there and then just pushing on down toward the southeast. So we'll keep it here on radar at Newslink Indiana on this web stream, and we'll keep you up to date over the web stream. If anything is developing, we'll keep you up to date on that. Thank you once again if you're just joining us. We've been tracking a line of storms as it's made its way across Indiana, really much weaker than it was as it's back out toward our west. If we put a little loop on this track here, you can see the storms that are very strong out to the west once again have slowed down as they've worked their way across the state. So the threat has gone down a little bit as these storms have weakened. The biggest threat's still the wind. We had a 50-mile-per-hour wind gust here inside Muncie, but the winds have started to weaken just a little bit as the storm again is weakening as well. They're still dropping to the southeast rather, at about 30 miles per hour right now. So we'll put a little bit of a track on that for you, just to show you where exactly we think those storms will be in the next little bit here. We're expecting them to be in Union City by 10:49, Newcastle by 10:54, Spiceland 11:09, and Henry by 11:16. The storms have, again, really started to weaken here, and especially in the past little bit. There was some hail earlier associated with these as well. Let's go ahead and turn on our hail tracker here. No hail in our viewing area. However, there is some hail down near Indianapolis. You can see that little bit of bluish gray lighting up on our radar here. Taking a look at just how big that hail is. Biggest size, just over an inch. So north side of Indy, you guys are still seeing some of the hail right now. As for us, no hail, just some gusty winds out there and some lightning as well. Lightning, one of the concerns we've been having with these storms tonight, but once again, not a whole lot in the way of severe weather going on right now. We're going to go ahead and end our live broadcast here. We'll keep you updated on Twitter as needed, and if needed, we'll start up another live broadcast tonight, but the storms once again have weakened. Thanks for joining us here. I'm NewsLink Indiana Chief Weather Forecaster Michael Behrens. Hope you have a good night.